الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه وأزواجه وذرياته أجمعين أما بعد السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. All praise be to Allah Azza wa Jal, our Creator, our Sustainer, and the Bestower of infinite mercy. And may peace and blessings be upon our beloved Rasul, Nabi Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. As many of you may know, it is currently Pride Month, which is a month celebrated by the LGBTQ community and the supporters alike. During this period, we also see an increase in the propagation of this group. Furthermore, many schools or institutions, they may bring in Muslim speakers who support this group in order to get the approval of this. This has really led to the watering down of the deen of Islam and has caused confusion among some of the youth. So today I intend to go through this topic about being part of the LGBTQ community as a Muslim, according to the Quran and Sunnah. According to what? According to the Quran and Sunnah, according to the Islam, the true Islam, not just what a modernist Muslim says. Islam is based upon the teachings of Islam, not what a Muslim says. I really want to clarify this. Islam is built upon the teachings of Islam, the Quran and the Sunnah, not what some individuals may say. So unfortunately, due to this dual standards of the society and due to the hypocrisy, many Muslims, they're actually scared. They will refrain from talking about this subject for fear of prosecution, etc., or persecution. However, if we continue this way, this group, they will continue to influence our youth and influence them with falsehood. Furthermore, we should fear Allah Azza wa Jal, not people. Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala, He will help us out. Now regarding this community, this group is broken into a few parts, most notably homosexuality and transgenderism, etc. Within both of these, practices take place which are absolutely haram. Not according to what I say, according to what Islam says. So if anyone has any problem with what I say, with anything I say, go look at it from the Islamic point of view, then come back and tell me. I'm not basing this from my own views, I'm basing this from what Islam teaches us. This is what Islam teaches us, we follow Islam, this is what we follow. So these practices, they are what? They are absolutely haram. Not only that, they are against human nature. Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala, He has created us in a certain way, with a certain nature. The practice of homosexuality and such intercourse, it is against the nature of humankind. This is not me hating or anything. This is just the fact. How so? Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala, He has created us as male and female. He has created us as what? Male and female. The concept of intercourse between these two is to conceive and to have children. The concept of intercourse is to have what? To conceive and to have children. This is the logic of the two genders and intercourse. I would first like to also apologize if anyone may find this a bit triggering, this sort of topic. It is a sensitive topic, but we do have to talk about this topic, unfortunately, because of the situation we are in. So, apologize if I may go into a bit of a sensitive issue. But anyways, as much as they would like to propagate this and state it is normal, where is the proof for that? Now, if a man was to have an intercourse with another man, would one get pregnant and suddenly give birth? No, not under any circumstance, never. The human nature isn't like this. This is the deception of Iblis, and it's a very severe sin. It is what? It is a very severe sin. Whether one wants to say it is natural or whether it is unnatural, that is all opinion. But nothing is a fact until it is proven. Nothing is a what till it is proven? Nothing is a fact till it is proven. So, and science and people doing this has shown that it doesn't work. Thus it is unnatural, it is not from human nature. Now so far, I've looked at it and the science of it and the logic of it, but let us see what the Quran says about this. What the Quran says regarding such people. In Islam and some of the other Abrahamic faiths, so let's say Judaism, Christianity, there is a story about a nation, about a people who are known as the Qawm Lut. They are known as what? Qawm Lut, meaning the people of Lut. And these people, they were the first of the people to embrace homosexuality. However, these people were eventually destroyed by Allah Tabarak wa Ta'ala. What happened to them? What happened to them? They were destroyed by Allah Tabarak wa Ta'ala. In Surah Al-A'raf, Allah Tabarak wa Ta'ala directly talks about these people. Not only the people, but the sin they committed and the final outcome which came from this sin. In Surah Al-A'raf, ayah 80 to 85, we will look at. Allah Tabarak wa Ta'ala declares, Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. وَلُوطًا إِذْ قَالَ لِقَوْمِهِ أَتَأْتُونَ الْفَاحِشَةَ مَا سَبَقَكُمْ بِهَا مِنْ أَحَدٍ مِنَ الْعَالَمِينَ. And when Lut said to his people, do you commit such immorality as no one has preceded you with from among the worlds? Then the next ayah continues. إنكم لتأتون الرجال شهوة من دون النساء بل أنتم قوم مسرفون. Indeed, you approach men with desires instead of a woman. Indeed, you approach who with a desire? Men. Rather, you are transgressing people. وما كان جواب قومه إلا أن قالوا أخرجوهم من قريتكم إنهم أناس يتطهرون. But the answer of his people was only that they said, evict them from your city. فأنجيناه وأهله إلا امرأته كانت من الغابرين. So we saved him, Lut and his family, except for his wife. She was one of those who remained with the evildoers. وأمطرنا عليهم مطرا فانظر كيف كان عاقبة المجرمين. And we rained upon them a rain of stones. So see how is the end of such criminals, of the criminals. See how Allah Tabarak wa Ta'ala has described them. He has described them as criminals. Subhanallah Azza wa Jal. See how clear the Quran al-Kareem is. It stated what these evil people did, what sin they did, what evil they did, how they responded to Prophet Lut alayhi salam when he showed them the truth. And then it also showed us what the punishment was to those who refused the message of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and continued with these sins. So from these 5 ayahs we looked at, Surah Al-A'raf, ayah 80 to 85, we can clearly see that this act is totally forbidden. It is a severe sin, it is very serious sin, considering whole nations have been wiped out, destroyed for this. Now regarding those who say homosexuality is permissible and say that Surah Al-A'raf, ayah 80-81, they limit it to these 2 ayahs. They don't look at the next ayahs. Is it regarding such people or isn't showing it is just this sin or indicating this sin? I openly challenge them to read the next 3 ayahs after that. Like we have just read these 5 ayahs and the answer will be clear enough. I challenge them to this. If they do read the ayahs, it will be very clear, very concise, rather than cherry picking ayahs or taking them out of context. Yes, you might have read Surah Al-A'raf, ayah 80. Why not 81? Why not 82? Why not 83? Why not 84? Why not? Because the answer is clear enough. The answer is clear in these ayahs that this is completely forbidden in the deen of Islam. And may I also point out that it is absolutely unacceptable in the deen of Islam to go against the Quran al-Kareem. It is the word of Allah Azza wa Jal. What is absolutely unacceptable in the deen of Islam? To go against the Quran al-Kareem. Anyone who questions it or anyone who goes against any part of the Quran or Sharia or command of Allah and says that it is not a requirement of the Quran or the deen has done kufr, disbelief. What have they done? Kufr, disbelief. Since they are rejecting a part of the Quran, they are rejecting a part of the deen. Furthermore, upon doing kufr, those people who allow this sin and embrace modernity and commit it in Islam are also doing bid'ah. Kufr is more dangerous than bid'ah, but they are still doing a bid'ah. If they don't, they say, no, we're not doing kufr. Okay then, they're still doing a bid'ah. They are doing kufr, but they're also doing a bid'ah. Now what are they doing? Kufr and bid'ah. The stance that homosexuality acts are permitted in Islam along with being kufr is also a bid'ah, an innovation. Since this stance has been introduced, has been innovated later on. Only within this last decade we have seen this. Only within this last decade we have seen Muslims accept this and say that they are trying to fit Islam into society by doing this. لا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله. لا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله. This is haram. What you are doing is haram. It is against the Quran. You cannot just embrace modernity and say that Islam permits this modernity. It is one thing saying you do this act, and it's another thing saying it's halal to do this act, going against the Quran and Sunnah. There is a hadith, فَإِنَّ أَصْدَقَ الْحَدِيثِ كِتَابُ اللَّهِ وَأَحْسَنُ الْهَدْيِ هَدْيُ مُحَمَّدٍ صَلَّى اللَّهُ عَلَيْهِ وَسَلَّمَ وَشَرَّ الْأُمُورِ مُحْدَثَاتُهَا وَكُلَّ مُحْدَثَةٍ بِدْعَةٍ وَكُلَّ بِدْعَةٍ ضَلَالَةٍ وَكُلَّ ضَلَالَةٍ فِي النَّارِ. Verily the best of speech is the book of Allah, and the best of guidance is the guidance of Muhammad Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam. And the most evil affairs are the newly invented matters. And every newly invented matter is an innovation, and every innovation is a misguidance, and every misguidance is in the hellfire. Where is every misguidance in? In the hellfire. Subhanallah. So this stance taken, as we established earlier, it is a clear deviance against the teachings of the Quran al-Azim. It is a contravention of the Quran al-Kareem. It is adding something which isn't a part of the deen. It is adding something new, which hasn't been a part of the deen, rather has been forbidden by the deen. So it is strictly forbidden. This isn't me saying anything. This isn't my view. This is the view of Islam. So if you want to argue with me, argue with Islam. I am not saying this from my own views. Like some people do, they say, we say it's halal because I'm a Muslim, I can say it's halal, which means it's halal. No, you have to look at Islam. Don't go for what I'm saying. Look at the ayahs, look at the hadith, and then it will be clear for you. Now, very, very briefly about transgenders also, and switching genders and doing operations, changing the private parts. Na'udhu billah min dhalik. Just as homosexuality, this is also against nature. It is also unnatural. It also goes against the way of Allah Azza wa Jal and the way He has designed us. Hence, these operations are only for aesthetic reasons, and they are not practical, and they are not in working order, because they do not work. They are just for design. They do not work. Do they work? They do not work. They are just for the design. Just when they go to the toilet, they see their parts. I'm a man. Na'udhu billah. If one has any inclinations of this though, that in itself isn't haram. As there are times we cannot control what our mind thinks, we cannot control inclinations. But acting upon the inclination is certainly impermissible, and we should try to control this urge. Read the ta'awudh, read a'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Read Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Every single thing you do, read Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. In the name of Allah, the Beneficent and Merciful. Read always A'udhu Billahi Minash Shaitanir Rajim. So we can move away from this inclination, because this is an inclination from Shaitan. It's his deception. He wants to decept us. He wants us to fall into his trap. Now, if we just stand there and we allow this to happen, then we are moving into this trap. But if we say, A'udhu Billahi Minash Shaitanir Rajim, you recognize it can be something bad, you recognize it can develop into something bad, so you seek protection from Allah Azza wa Jal, and that will surely protect us all. I hope this has been beneficial. Wa akhiru da'wana alhamdulillahi rabbil alameen. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah. Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah. Wa ashhadu anna Muhammadan Rasulullah. وأشهد أن محمدا رسول الله. حي على الصلاة، حي على الصلاة، حي على الفلاح، حي على الفلاح. الله أكبر، الله أكبر، لا إله إلا الله.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Phones away, no idle talking, no daydreaming, no sleeping, full attention, otherwise this khutbah would not count, and you'd have to redo the jummah again or pray the salah again. إن الحمد لله نحمده ونصلي ونسلم على رسوله الكريم وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين. أما بعد، فإن أصدق الحديث كتاب الله، وأحسن الحدي حدي محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم، وشر الأمور محدثاتها، وكل محدثة بدعة، وكل بدعة ضلالة، وكل ضلالة في النار. أيها الحاضرون، اتقوا الله حق تقاته ولا تموتن إلا وأنتم مسلمون. وقال الله تعالى: يا أيها الناس اتقوا ربكم الذي خلقكم من نفس واحدة وخلق منها زوجها وبث منهما رجالا كثيرا ونساء، واتقوا الله الذي تساءلون به والأرحام إن الله كان عليكم رقيبا. وقال أيضا: يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله وقولوا قولا سديدا يصلح لكم أعمالكم ويغفر لكم ذنوبكم، ومن يطع الله ورسوله فقد فاز فوزا عظيما. عن أنس رضي الله عنه عن النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم قال: لا يؤمن أحدكم حتى يحب لأخيه ما يحب لنفسه. وعن أبي موسى رضي الله عنه قال: قالوا يا رسول الله أي الإسلام أفضل؟ قال: من سلم المسلمون من لسانه ويده. بارك الله لنا ولكم في القرآن العظيم. أقول قولي ما تستمعون، واستغفر الله لي ولكم ولسائر المؤمنين فاستغفروه إنه هو الغفور الرحيم. الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونؤمن به ونتوكل عليه، ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا. من يهده الله فلا مضل له، ومن يضلله فلا هادي له. ونشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له، ونشهد أن سيدنا وحبيبنا وعظيمنا ومولانا محمدا عبده ورسوله صلى الله تعالى عليه وسلم أجمعين. أما بعد، قال الله تعالى في القرآن المجيد: أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم، بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. إن الله وملائكته يصلون على النبي يا أيها الذين آمنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما. اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما صليت وسلمت وباركت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد، خصوصا منهم على سحر صاحب النبوة أمير المؤمنين سيدنا أبي بكر الصديق بن أبي قحافة رضي الله عنه، وعلى الناطق الأواب سيدنا عمر بن الخطاب رضي الله عنه، وعلى جامع القرآن سيدنا عثمان بن عفان رضي الله عنه، وعلى أسد الله الغالب سيدنا علي بن أبي طالب رضي الله عنه، وعلى ولديه السيدة شباب أهل الجنة الحسن والحسين رضي الله عنهما، وعلى أمهما فاطمة الزهراء سيدة نساء أهل الجنة رضي الله عنها، وعلى تمام الصحابة والتابعين ومن تبعهم أجمعين. اللهم انصرنا فإنك خير الناصرين، اللهم احفظنا فإنك خير الحافظين، واعف عنا واغفر لنا وارحمنا، أنت مولانا فانصرنا على القوم الكافرين. ربنا تقبل منا إنك أنت السميع العليم، وتب علينا يا مولانا إنك أنت التواب الرحيم. عباد الله رحمكم الله، إن الله يأمر بالعدل والإحسان وإيتاء ذي القربى وينهى عن الفحشاء والمنكر والبغي يعظكم لعلكم تذكرون. اذكروا الله سبحانه وتعالى يذكركم، وادعوه يستجب لكم، ولذكر الله تعالى أعلى وأولى وأعظم وأكبر. وأقم الصلاة.